Now here we got a dock that I really like. You can see where the water line is normally on the dock. We're fishing and the lake's pretty low. But you can see a big platform there. That big platform is where the fish will hit. It gives a lot of shade in the bright sunny days. And what we're going to do is we want to skip back in there and so forth. Here ladders are a good place too. Bass will hang around ladders often too. We got in this particular case, we got a big boat on the side there, so you know that it's all closed up, so you know there hasn't been any action. See how close I am to this dock? Real close. That's because I'm not fishing here. I'm going to fish way back there in hopes that a bass hits that lure. Now what I'm doing is I let it sink. I'm not reeling in real fast. I'm going to let it sink. And then I'm going to bring it up real slow, right crisscross from that corner almost to this corner, real slow, just pop it along. You see how my line's slack most of the time? I'm watching the line too, because sometimes that's the first tail that's going to tell you when the bass picks it up. You won't even feel it. And then we'll bring it out. If you didn't get a fish or a bite in that short a time, you're not going to get one on that cast. They hit it pretty quick. They come over to it. They smack it. Now we're on the back side of that same dock. Again, this is a little higher dock than what you'd like, but you can see if the water line was up normal, it'd be perfect for being able to hold a lot of fish. But we're going to go back in here, and that's why your trolling motor control is real important, so you can slide back in here, because this big platform has got great possibilities to hold fish, without a doubt. Now, we're going to skip it again. I'm going to come up here to the front. I'm going to backhand it in there. Now, it splashed here, but it landed up in about middle of the back of that dock. Now, I got my big motor back down. That helps the wind from blowing it around. I can keep it a little more solid in what we're doing. Now here's another dock. Again, you can see where the water line has been, but it makes it great to be able to try to get back in there. Sun's coming up a little bit bright. You can see the darker water back there, and that's where we want to go. I'm going to try to skip it back in there to get it back into that dock, right into that shadow. And hopefully there's a fish in there to say hello to us. You know, see if anybody's home here. But again, what we want to do, get the reed off there, and be able to just skip that back in there or shoot it back in there like I did that one there. But you got to get back in the docks. Even though I'm close here, boy, I tell you, I've caught an awful lot of bass being this close to the docks, catching them and pulling them out of there. So it can be exciting when you do that. Now here's another place that sometimes is overlooked when you're fishing docks. When you see a boat like this is here, and you look at the motor there, and that motor, you know, directly below that motor is where they start it up every day when they go out on the water. And when they do, they run it, they back up and so forth, it makes a little hollow. So that's when you like to just take a little flip and drop it right below the motor there, and often that will hold fish. Right in that spot will hold a fish. They'll be sitting down there in that little hole. So don't overlook that sometimes when you're out casting the docks. Another spot on the spot. Now this again is real high dock, but we get in there, let it try it a time or two, but what I'm looking forward to is this next dock. That's got a big platform. It's got opportunity to hold not just one. In the springtime and other times throughout the summer, it will hold, on a bright sunny day, it could hold 4 or 5 bass. Amazing how that one dock will hold so much, but it's a big platform that's like that. Now there's chairs on it, but there's no people on it. So there's chances are there hasn't been anybody on it for quite a while, so nothing would scare the fish away. And I'm not always so sure it does any which way. I'm going to try one here quickly to try to skip in there before I get too close. And I shot it back in there. Again, just a little wrist action. Now I'm going to try a pitch again, showing you how to pitch. Back in there. Bring it back. Now as I approach it, again, I'm just dropping it. You know, so I'm just working the lure ever so slowly and bringing it back. Again, dropping it back in there. See how I kind of skipped as it went back in there? Now I'm real close to the dock. And when you are real close to the dock, take another shot that gets you way back in there. See, my tip is almost touching the dock, but now I'm way back in there covering this space. And if we were fishing real hard today, we'd let it sit longer and try to catch that fish. But those are the locations you want to try.